Hi! Hi, dumpsterinos and frugalistas. Welcome. Welcome to tea time with Frugal Mommy and Frugal Daddy. What kind of tea am I drinking, you wonder? It's green tea with ginger and lemon. It's supposed to be very healthy. Did you want to try it?
No, thank you.
He's afraid. All right. So what we're talking about today, the pros and cons of trying to make a living from YouTube. You see people make videos. You say, that looks easy. You see them make money. You say, I want to do that too. Yeah, I hate my job. I want to quit it. I just want to make videos and make a living on YouTube. It looks so easy.
You do get that a lot.
So like any situation, there are pros and cons. It's not all a bed of roses. It's not all bad either. But before you decide to quit your 9-to-5 and jump right in and make your living off YouTube, here's some things to consider. Because obviously that's what I'm trying to do. So I speak from living. I live the pros and cons. Okay. So the first pro is, if you quit your old job and you're just doing YouTube, you don't have to go to your old job. You get to be your own boss. You get to feel that sense of relief every morning when you wake up. Like, oh my goodness, I don't have to go into that place that just sucked my soul dry and made me cry and made me dread the walk across the parking lot from my car to the front door of the office building. I don't have to do that anymore. Yay, freedom!
Was that the job specifically, or was it a job?
Well, it wasn't a job. It wasn't having any job. It was certain aspects of the job I had. It's a difficult field, and there's a lot of burnout in it. I did it for a long time. I loved being a social worker, but working for a big state bureaucracy, there were a lot of cons to that, I gotta say. There were pros to that too, but that's a whole other video. The pros and cons of being a state social worker. Different video. You know, you have to know yourself and what works for you, because not everybody's the same. Some people prefer to work for somebody else. Not everybody wants to be their own boss. There's a lot of pressure to being your own boss. I mean, there's a con. There's a pressure to being your own boss. It's all on you. Whether you succeed, it's all on you. And that's both a pro and a con. I mean, you have 100% responsibility for your success. Nobody's holding you back. Nobody's telling you what to do. You're not being guided. You know,
and
that's
all of those
hard. That's
have cons also. Everything you just listed as a pro is also a con.
Exactly. Like being
for someone like me who can't keep a thought in his head straight for 5 minutes, and if he had to work for himself, he'd never get anything done. I happen to like
which is your current situation.
I happen to enjoy working for someone else. Oh my God. I wish you could see that.
Stop it. Come here. Come here.
The cat
Let go of the tablecloth. Let go of the tablecloth. All right. Somebody was rubbing her head against the camera and the tripod. Oh, she's so cute. It has to be the right work situation for you. Not everybody wants to be a leader. Some people want to be followers. Not everybody wants to be their own boss. Not everybody wants to bear that responsibility. Not everybody wants their work life to have like this deep meaning for them. Some people just want to go to work 9-to-5, do their job, come home and not think about it and not worry about it. And it's just, that's not their life. But some people want what they do to, you know, it's all of them. So you have to know yourself.
Yeah, I shut it down. I didn't take it home with me. I worked, I walked out, and that was the end of it.
No, I brought it home with me. I lost sleep over work stuff. I cried at home over work stuff. And now I've got cat hair up my nose over work stuff. Okay. Another pro to having YouTube be your full-time job is you get to be creative. It's a creative outlet. Making videos is creativity, and it's a new...
I'm yawning and I didn't want to show it. I was trying to hide my yawn. I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with you.
So it's a creative outlet. Unless you already have a history of being a filmmaker, if that was your job, then it's a whole new learning experience. It's you're changing professions midstream. I mean, most people my age at 55 don't Well, I wasn't 55. I was 54, I guess. But it doesn't matter. Maybe I was 53. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But most people that age don't quit a very stable, secure job with decent benefits to do something crazy like stay home with your kids and make money off YouTube, hopefully. It gives you an opportunity to grow and learn a whole new career midlife, a whole new creative outlet. I think that's a pro. Making YouTube videos for your full-time occupation also gives you a chance to share your passion with the world, whatever it is you're super into. And you need to know what you want your channel to be. So if you have this passion for trout fishing or mountain biking or traveling or cooking shrimp different ways or doing yoga, I mean, whatever it is, whatever you're into, frugality, dumpster diving, whatever, you get to share that thing that you're really into with other people, and therefore you can find your tribe. You can find a community of like-minded people to dialogue with and be happy with and feel connected to. And that's a great positive feeling. You know, I mean, when I was a social worker, I had my tribe of social workers, and we all shared a lot because we're social workers and shared certain values, but they weren't dumpster divers. They weren't frugal. And, you know, it's just another part of me that I like to focus on, bring out. Focus on your passions. A lot of people at their jobs do not get to focus on their passions.
Everyone I worked with thought I was crazy. The guy I worked right next to, I heard him I overheard him say to another guy there, I think it's a disease.
Oh, the dumpster diving.
Yeah. We would go out, we had, say some guy's retiring or something. Okay, we're going to go meet everyone here at this restaurant at 2 o'clock or something, or after work. And I remember one time on the way, there was an old door, and I thought, I want that door. So I pulled over, and there was an old door in someone's garbage, so I thought, I'm going to get that door. So I stuffed it in the car, and I had to drive like this. So I pulled up at the restaurant, and everyone saw me. They actually saw me loading it on the car, too, because they knew my car. And then they saw me getting out of the car like this. And they all just shook their head like, there's something wrong with that guy.
But
they really thought, I swear, they thought there was something wrong with
that
him.
makes so much sense to me because you're reclaiming old wood. I mean, and you had an old house. It makes sense that you'd say, oh, that door, that would be perfect for my new back door. All right, another pro is you get to be yourself. You need to be yourself. What you bring to a YouTube video is that which no other person can bring, and that's yourself. It's time to not try to just fit in with everybody else. It's time to not try to copy what works for everybody else. You're not a sheep just following the herd. It's better to be different than to be better. You have to just be yourself. Your uniqueness is what you bring. So finally, you don't have to have that pressure of, oh, I need to appear normal. I need to appear somewhat sane. I need to fit in with society somehow. You don't have to anymore. If you're just doing YouTube videos and you're being yourself and you're sharing your passion, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, and you're the only person you need to please. Well, except that you want people to watch, so you kind of need to please them too. But the idea is being your genuine self, you will, attract like-minded people. Get to be yourself. Be yourself. Be your genuine self. Be your genuine self.
I like to say that life needs your perspective. That's why we're all here. Everyone brings a different perspective to life, and humanity as a whole needs that.
Another pro is you get to work from home, which for some people is great. For other people, you have to know yourself, but I think it's great to work from home. You don't have to deal with all the people that piss you off all the time. You don't have to go out there in the world and deal with all that. Here's another pro. There's no ceiling. There's no maxing out how far you can go in YouTube. Not everybody is going to make $24 million in a year, like the top YouTube earner last year, who was a child, by the way. Right? I mean, not everybody's going to have that massive success, but there's really no limit. There's no ceiling. There's no, well, I can only get promoted so far because I don't have this degree or this training. I don't have the qualifications to go higher. There's no limit to your potential success. You're the only one holding yourself back. Now for some cons to trying to make your living on YouTube. The first thing is, like life, YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. And you have to keep at it every day, bit by bit by bit. You grow little by little by little. You have to upload videos regularly. There's no taking big breaks and thinking you're going to have this massive success. The algorithms just don't work that way. You have to be very consistent in your production, which can be difficult. If you're trying to transition from having a regular job to making your income on YouTube, you kind of already need to have your YouTube channel going while you're still working your other job. Because in the beginning with YouTube, you're not going to be making that much money. So you still need to be supporting yourself with your old job while you get your YouTube channel going so you can still support yourself. But you have a full-time job. It's hard to have the time to put into YouTube to really get it going and going and going enough to make you a living while you're still putting all that time into the job you need to keep you alive while you're getting your YouTube channel going and going and going. Just saying, it can be a tricky balance. Another con with YouTube is that your income can change significantly month to month. Hopefully, what you want is for it to grow a little bit every month, but it doesn't always. Some months it's bigger, and then some months it's smaller, which makes it harder to budget and to predict and budget for paying your bills. And if you have a really strong month and you make a lot of money, you can't get lulled into thinking it's always going to be that way and thinking, wow, I'm hot stuff now. I'm on my way. I'm making a lot of money and we can go out and spend money on this and spend money on that. And you really need to save because the next month might be way down. It's just not entirely predictable. It changes based on what ads are running on your videos, what time of year it is, because there's more advertising around the holidays. How many views your videos are getting and who's watching them and are they skipping the ads? And sometimes there's just absolutely no rhyme or reason regarding which videos do well and which don't. You can make a video and think, this is my best video ever. Like, I am going viral. I am big now. I am worldwide famous. This is going to be my big one. And it gets half the views of your other ones. And then you put up a video that you're like, whatever, that's just routine, same old, same old. And all of a sudden that one gets all these views. And then you think, okay, well, I'll make more videos like that. But then those don't get all the views. I mean, you just never know. So it's very hard to predict, and it changes month to month. And it's, a lot of people need a very steady, reliable income. Doing YouTube for a living might not be that.
Every plumber knows that, who goes out, drives out of the driveway every morning. Says, boy, I hope I get some more jobs today.
That's what every plumber says?
Every roofer, every tree surgeon, tree guy.
Well, every self-employed person. It's
right.
all on you.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, as a self-employed person, you don't have benefits anymore. You don't have, a pension plan or a 401k. You're not going to have paid sick time and paid vacation time if you're used to that as a salaried employee somewhere. If you don't put up Daddy just rescued a Barbie from the puppy who's visiting. If you don't put up a video, you don't make any money. So there's no taking a day off. There's no getting sick. There's no...
We were watching this puppy for a friend of ours.
So it's like anybody who's an hourly employee making $10, $12 an hour. But if you're sick, if your kid's sick, if your car breaks down, if you don't go in, you just don't make money. That's the way it is with YouTube. As delightful and wonderful as you certainly are, and no matter how much you think, I would never get trolls. I'm so nice. Why would people leave those mean comments for me? Everybody does. Everybody gets trolls. Everybody gets these ridiculously obnoxious comments. Every viewer thinks that they have the right to say whatever they want to a YouTuber. And you have to deal with that. You have to be able to deal with it. It can't destroy you. It can't ruin your life. You have to be prepared for it. It might make you angry. It might make you sad. You have to be able to deal with it. I think that's like an actor going on auditions. Think about how many auditions you go on and you get rejected over and over and over again. How do you take that and then keep going and keep following that dream?
And then you make a movie and then a critic tells you it's the worst movie they ever saw.
Right.
you still have to keep going.
Right.
You're an actor.
Someone got bored and thought he would just read out of the 1971-72 Guinness Book of World Records.
I'm not bored.
Anyway, I had another good one, and now I can't even remember it. But leave your comments below if you can also think of pros and cons to having YouTube be your full-time job and trying to make your whole income out of this creative, fabulous, unreliable, unpredictable, get to be your own boss world of video making and sharing of passions and making our joy and garbage your joy and garbage. I did have another good one. I can't think of what it was. I should have written it down. I thought I'd remember. Oh, I know what my other point was. The uncertain future. Okay, for a long time, YouTube was a certain way. It was a certain platform. There were certain rules. And people did well with those rules. And some people did very, very, very well. But then they changed the rules on you. And you just don't know what the future of YouTube is. Is the whole thing going to crumble? Is it going to not even exist in a couple of years? And all the people who depend on it to make their living are just out of luck? You know? Shrimp out of luck. You just don't know, right? You've put all your eggs in this basket.
Yeah.
Which I guess is like any self-employed person trying to have their own business. Like you said, the plumbers and the roofers. Like you just, doctor with a private practice. Someone who comes out of law school and thinks, I'm just going to hang up my own shingle. And
the buggy whip manufacturer who made buggy whips.
Until
the horseless carriage came along.
Yeah, the automobile. I think YouTube is on the same level as television.
No, it's 100 times better. YouTube
Better
is
than
the coolest thing I have
Well, I know,
ever
but I mean,
seen.
in terms of like
So insanely
sitting
cool.
and watching something, watching a variety of programs that make their money through advertisement, same thing as TV.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what YouTube is. I mean, why would it go away? You have so much variety.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know, but I'm saying more. I don't know what I'm saying, but my point is, okay, I don't even have a point, but okay. What I'm thinking is, I don't remember what I was thinking.
Were you thinking anything?
No, because now I'm thinking of something else, and I can't go back to that thought because it's back there, and come on. And it's trying to catch up.
You just want some
This
lunch,
is what's wrong
right?
with my brain.
You're hungry.
No, that thought is trying to catch up, but now there's a bunch of other thoughts saying, we want to come out now.
You have everybody in the
You
world
don't even have to drive
sharing
anymore.
their knowledge and their interests. So why should that go away? But you never know, it might. But why should it? Don't let it. But it might. But hopefully it won't.
And eventually, dumpster diving, everyone's going to be dumpster diving because that's the only thing that really matters in life, right?
Because that's the only cool
It's
thing.
the only cool thing you can
That's
do.
what the cool kids are doing.
Yeah.
It was a funny noise.
Yeah. You know what? On
UPS.com.
UPS this morning when I was listening to UPS in the radio, not in the car or NPR in the car. So I was sitting there listening to NPR, and they were talking about Nordstrom, their flagship. What do you call those things? Store. Yeah, in Manhattan, is selling used clothing, and then they were getting prices. Well, these shoes are $600. This used for $600.
Wait, Nordstrom has like a thrift store now?
They have a department, and it's geared towards millennials that are conscious of how much water and electricity it takes to make a sweater. So they're going to buy a used one. It's not even vintage. It's just
Just secondhand clothing.
Yeah, secondhand clothing at Nordstrom prices.
Well,
but then they gave me wait. I have the paper here. There's two websites. They said Depop and Real, and I logged into both of those. And you have to join to even look at the stuff. But I'm thinking, this is the way life is going. Dumpster diving is going to be common, and I'm not going to be mentally. It's not going to be a mental. It's not going to be a mental disorder like the guys I worked with used to think. He's not crazy.
I don't know what any of that had to do with the pros and cons of trying to make a full-time living doing YouTube.
I'd make one hell of a therapist, wouldn't I?
So anyway, for people who are thinking about quitting their day job and making YouTube their full-time gig, you got to know the pros and cons. You got to know yourself. If you want to keep your regular job and just do YouTube on the side as a little side gig, that's a no-brainer. Or if you're a stay-at-home person anyway, for whatever reason, you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, or you're whatever caregiver, and you're not making any money, hey, why not have a YouTube channel? And you're going to, any little extra helps. You're going to bring in some extra. Whether it can be a full-time job, you got to get the channel going. You have to have a vision for your channel and a passion to share.
Well, I always tell kids when we're talking about growing up.
What kids are you talking about? All the millennials who come to you for advice, Grandpa?
Yeah, all of them. Past children, past grandchildren, past... Okay, I made that part up. Okay. I like to tell people that are... I like to tell...
I'm just going to play with Halloween Barbie while you try to get your sentences out.
Take the piano. Learn the piano or learn violin or something. Or that way, say you are a mother and, I want to stay home. I don't have that much time. You can maybe bring in some piano students and teach them at a basic level. Or if you get really good, you can teach them at a different level. A higher level. But my point is to do something that when you want to be home with children for a few years, maybe you could bring in some extra income. And teaching piano lessons or something is very good. Or flute or whatever you're into. And now you can do that on YouTube. You could just make videos all day of this is how you place your hands on the keyboard, and you could just do videos, and then it might take on a life of its own. Instead of teaching one student for $30, you teach 3,000 students for 10 cents a piece. And
this video's taking on a life of its own.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching, friends. I hope this was helpful. I can't imagine how it could have been, but...
subscribers are you going to lose?
I know.
Please don't unsubscribe because of me. Please.
Or because of me. Don't unsubscribe to my channel because of me. Go away if you must, but don't unsubscribe. Be prepared. Be prepared. Do, 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 do. That's from Lion King. Or be... What was he singing? Was it be prepared? Be scared?
That was
be prepared.
Scar saying.
Scar. But I think it was be prepared. He's singing to the hyenas, right? At the elephant graveyard? Let's go watch that.
Okay.
All right. See you later. We have to go watch Lion King. Okay. Bye.
Bye.